Good.
Oh man.
How are you? We've already been laughing. I mean, this how are you stuff. I know how you are. You had diarrhea in Korea.
I can't stop laughing about it. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Hello and welcome to Dude That's Fucked Up podcast. My name is Erin.
I'm Nicole.
Yes, I just got back from Japan and Korea, and oh my god, I was just starting to tell Nicole a story about how I had a stomach ache, and I started saying I had diarrhea in Korea and realized it rhymed. I don't know why I didn't put it together, and I'm crying right now.
Yeah, same. Oh. I'm crying, but also the look of pure joy. The when you can see it on someone's face, like when they recognize something. It was like that moment. I wish I could have screen grabbed it because you were just like. Your face just lit up, and then there was a pause, and then we both started cry laughing.
Oh my god. Well, I was saying So what happened was me and my husband DJ and a couple of friends met up with us in Japan, and we had gone out on our last night in Japan before we went to South Korea. And we went to this crazy fucking robot show. It's called The Robot Restaurant, and it's just like, I can't describe it. If you want to know more or see more, you can follow my Instagram. It's ErinDBSol. I'm at ErinDBSol on Instagram if anybody wants to do that. So just look at pictures that I post or the video that I posted of me drinking a Zima there.
Yeah. We could share it to our social medias too, if you want.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got real turnt at this robot show where we drank everything. Like, you want to name a thing to drink, and I drank it. Beer, sake, absinthe, wine.
Oh my god.
Vodka, rum, Zima. So that happened, and then the next day I couldn't stop throwing up until 1 p.m.
Oh,
it was
God.
rough. I don't drink like that anymore, and it was just a fun thing, and we were just out in Japan, and there's this place called Golden Guy, and it's where all these little teeny little bars are where they can literally only fit 6 people in them at a time, and we just posted up in a couple and just drank our faces off. And so anyway, we finally recover enough by 4 p.m. and have to get on a plane down to South Korea.
Oh God.
DJ and I are just wrecked, and we get down there and it's fine. And the next day, it's I destroyed my stomach from all that binge drinking, and it was don't hurt me anymore, stop. And so of course I ate kimchi and a million spicy things, and I got diarrhea.
Oh God. Kimchi hangover poops. Oh. Whoops.
I don't recommend it. So then so I was saying I got diarrhea in Korea, not because of food or anything, just because I fucked my stomach up from being hungover. And then I was saying it's so nice there because there's public restrooms everywhere, and they're super clean and nice. But the way that they do the soap in the public restrooms is it's like a
dick.
Like a dick.
And you
it's
rub, you jerk it off.
Yeah, and you it's like a bar of soap stuck on a pole kind of thing. And you just do this, like I'm doing a jack off movement, and you get soap on your hand, and that's how you get the soap. And I was like, man, this is the best.
Oh God. At least that made you happy.
Yeah.
That day.
It was fine. I had intermittent diarrhea for a day and a half, so it was cool. Got super skinny.
I was super thin and svelte.
Yeah, and then I got some like stomach medicine from like a little like they have like pharmacies everywhere.
Yeah.
Like real pharmacies, like the kind that are like I guess in like Mexico, you know, where you can go in and just be like, give me some fucking somas. And they're like, okay, but no, they didn't. That wasn't like that. No, it was like I was like miming like I was like. Stomach, and I was like, ooh, yeah. And the lady's like, ah, yes.
Oh,
so
God.
Then I was constipated for 5 days, so that's cool.
Well, and then
I'm
you were
good now,
super
though.
bloated and gross.
I'm totally great now. I'm just
Okay.
back to normal.
Well, you're back in.
My sleep schedule is a little rough, but like DJ and I we got home and like, you know, it's like a 13, 14-hour flight.
Oh.
And on the way out, it's just like daytime the entire time. So it's weird. You're like, you leave at like, we left at like noon or something from DC and then got to Japan the next day at 4 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So it's weird.
Yeah.
But it never is nighttime while you're flying.
Yeah.
But on the way back, it was like dusky
the whole time.
The entire time. Yeah. So we get back and like we fall asleep and it's fine. And then like 2 days later, we just wake up at 3 a.m. and can't go back to sleep. So we had a day where we just like started our day super early.
3 a.m. Time to start the coffee.
Yeah, literally I did at like 4:30.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it was so fun. Japan, Korea, amazing. I have so many awesome pictures that I need to post still, but I'm too fucking lazy and lame. So.
Yeah, I feel like I was like watching your Instagram and stuff, and I was waiting for so much more, but it's like, what? No one, you're like enjoying yourself. You're not going to be posting all your shit like every 2 seconds.
Well, and I tried to keep a journal too, so that I like wouldn't forget anything, but it only lasted like 4 days, so. The first day is all about the flight, probably. Then the second day is like 2 paragraphs, then 1 paragraph, then like a sentence. Yeah,
and then you're done.
Actually, the third day we did so much, and it was like, I mean, I went to fucking cat cafes, shrines. I got on the bullet train, the Shinkansen, and it was the coolest experience. Like, we went to a meerkat cafe. We had fucking meerkats crawling all over us. I saw a fucking kangaroo. It was like being in a fever dream. It was so crazy. It was awesome.
Did you go to the 7-Eleven there?
Hell yes. And then the Lawson's. Lawson's is like is another famous, like it's when Anthony Bourdain goes to Japan, he like goes in and gets the fucking egg salad sandwich. And it's like, oh, but it's good. It's like in Japan, it's like they're about mouthfeel.
Oh.
And it's like the fluffiest bread and the eggs are nice. I don't know. I like egg salad. It's not farty at all. It's like
it doesn't smell like egg fart sandwich.
It's really nice. It's like you're eating a cloud. It's nice.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did that because Anthony Bourdain said it was cool. So I was like, all right.
Oh.
And I did that. And it was. And yeah. Anyway, that's my tales. Anything fucked up happened while I was gone? Did I miss anything that happened in our country?
Oh God.
Fuck. Let's
well,
not.
Yeah, you got back in time for like a bunch more shit. But
yeah.
I mean, anybody could listen to this podcast at any time, and I'm sure it applies. We can be like super vague, like, oh, did you see the thing the president did this week?
Did you see what he tweeted?
Yeah, and then it'll be like, whatever happened that week, it'll be fucking stupid, and
yeah,
everyone will get it. Well, I went to New York for a friend's wedding, and Pete and I used to live there, and so it was like really fun just to be back. And like it felt weird at first, but then it felt like we still lived there pretty quickly, and like things change so much, but they stay the same.
Sure.
So we did a lot of day drinking one day. And we randomly went to this like little tiki bar place, and there was a comedy show in the back room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it was like 3 p.m., which should have been the first red flag. And we're like, oh, let's check out this like open mic. And we'd already been like drinking beer and like, 3 p.m. comedy show. And it was like 40 minutes in. So we're like, oh, are they even still doing it? And there was a little camera like behind the bar. And she's like, oh, yeah, it looks like people are still back there. So we went back there. It was upsetting, to say the least.
Oh, no.
It was just like, first of all, we were the only 2 people not performing. One guy was like, basically using it as therapy. It wasn't even jokes or stories. He was just like angry.
Oh dear.
I think maybe he had a little bit of PTSD.
Yikes.
He was in the military and stuff, and it was just like so cringy. And then they finally figured out, oh, you guys aren't comedians. Like, where are you from? And then the attention was on us for the next hour. And they did like a second set, and it was really uncomfortable. I'm not like going anywhere with this story, but
You should have gone up and promoted our podcast.
I should. Yeah, that would have been amazing.
I had an open mic.
Yeah. With 4 people there, an audience of 4 people.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Hey, tip your waitress and your bartender. Good night. Oh, it's 3 p.m.
Yeah, so.
Should we talk about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Today's
topic.
Today on Dude, That's Fucked Up.
Oh, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's kind of ridiculous, but
it's ridiculous, and I think a lot of it was fake and fucking stupid. And
this
bitch, Patty Hearst.
We're talking about Patty Hearst.
Oh, she's the worst.
She is the definition of rich girl,
white privilege.
White privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like super rich girl white privilege.
It is so fucking ridiculous. So first of all, Patty Hearst is in the 1970s. She's 19 years old, like in college. She's the heiress of the Hearst family. Her grandfather is William Randolph Hearst, who is the grandfather of modern day journalism. Have you ever been to Hearst Castle?
No, have you?
Yes, it's very cool. It's awesome.
Where is it in? Like, I know she went to UC Berkeley, but is it in that area or?
Yeah, it's like Northern California. It's like on the one.
Okay.
In San Simeon, I think. It's really cool. If you ever like take a road trip, I highly recommend it. It's just ridiculous. It's like there's like fucking ancient Egyptian like obelisks and like statues, and then like there's an indoor swimming pool that's it's beautiful, and then there's an outdoor swimming pool, and there's just like all these opulent, beautiful rooms that you get to walk through, and it's just the grounds, like the property is massive. There's like peacocks and like all kinds of crazy animals roaming free on it and stuff.
Oh, dang.
And then there's like an IMAX theater where you can see like drone footage over the entire property, and it's just super. It's ridiculous. It's like the Great the Great Gatsby times 1,000.
Did someone,
like 1920s opulence?
Did the grandpa live there? Or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had like multiple properties, I think, but this was his like, his
summer home.
This was his beautiful jewel on the hill.
His coastal abode.
Yeah, fucker. No, I mean, so this family is basically American royalty.
Yeah.
Like you said, Patty was a student at Berkeley. It's like 1970s. It's like all kinds of shit's going on. Like a lot of social unrest. Like the 60s just happened in a real way. There's like a lot of like ex-hippies and vets from the Vietnam War just caught like pissed off, and the early 70s were a crazy time.
Yeah.
Like when a lot of cults are forming, like the Manson family had just all been arrested in like 1969, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think she was, because she came from such like a rich family. Like she wasn't really I guess her like fiance at the time was like, oh, she wasn't like very political. And her sister,
why would she be?
Yeah, like her sisters were like, oh, she wasn't very political, but things change, I guess. But there was a lot of groups that were getting radicalized.
Yeah. Yeah, you had like the Weather Underground, Black Panthers, all kinds of like fringy groups were like popping up. A lot of like social justice shit was happening, and it was, great. Like a lot of stuff was really necessary at the time. But there's also tons of serial killers and
like tons
weird
of
shit happening.
Tons of like fringe groups that really weren't even doing anything and had no agenda.
Yeah. Like it reminds me of like so what we're about to talk about is this group, the Symbionese Liberation Army, aka the SLA.
Yeah.
Like radical left-wing domestic terrorist group with no real like agenda or I mean, they had an agenda. It was like a lot of stuff that I could actually get behind. Like I fully support. They were like feminism, equal rights, like prison reform, which fuck yeah, but the way that they went about it was just so wrong. Like everything that they did was wrong. So this group was allowed to kind of exist because there was like this space that was like kind of open for them while this like crazy shit was going on, like Weather Underground, like I said. But even Weather Underground, they were like pretty organized and had like a vision, and they were like, y'all are fucking weird.
Yeah, well, they also probably had a lot more people because the SLA was pretty tiny.
It was like 12 people. These people, okay, and these kids or these people, like I don't know, they were like college students.
Well, so let's talk about, I guess, like kind of how the SLA formed. Because there was this program at Berkeley that was basically, it was called the Black Cultural Association, and it was kind of like an anthropological, I don't know, it was an idea that they had where they're like, let's allow students from Berkeley to go over to Vacaville prison and kind of like learn from the prisoners. It was very like 70s hippie type, you know, it was a class essentially. And you know, they could like, you know, maybe get credit at school, and then also they can help these guys for like when they're released and, you know, get back on their feet or whatever.
Great.
But what was happening was people were being radicalized, and there was a movement in prisons to form groups that were like political groups. And now these college kids who are like very impressionable.
Also like very, very militaristic, because a lot of these guys that were locked up had been, you know, in the military, and had, you know, whatever, made a mistake, and because they were probably traumatized from fucking whatever crazy shit that they had to go through from the Vietnam War or whatever war they were in, and they're
totally
so much,
and a lot of them were probably in prison just for being black. So there's that. And so it was like, you know, all it was just like all these college kids with all of these dudes that were like really upset and also kind of radicalizing and wanting to make change, all of this happening at the same time. And not that, you know, some of that stuff is necessary, but the SLA was formed by one guy in particular, Donald DeFreeze, who somehow it's just like a little magic storm of like the right people at the right time. Like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Maybe he has good intentions. We don't know. And then here's all these white kids that are like, oh yeah, we're going to like join up with this guy, and we're going to, you know, make change, and the world will hear us, and we're going to take down the fascists. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, no, we're going to do that. And then it's just like him and a bunch of white kids from Berkeley. Theater kids.
He's like, these motherfucking white kids.
Donald DeFreeze, what can we do? And he's like, let's join the... We're going to make the SLA. and it was like fucking musical theater.
525,006. Anyway.
They had us... Oh, what?
Oh, I was gonna say he fucking escaped prison.
Yeah,
Donald DeFreeze escaped prison.
These kids helped him.
Yeah, they helped him break out. They were like, "What can we do to like be like to make this happen? Like, how do we make this? Let's like just break this guy out of prison."
I know. La, la, la. We're gonna break him out of prison. Da 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 da.
He escaped March of 1973, and they had a hideout in Oakland. And they just kind of like made this like group, and they had like the best branding. They had this like really fucking cool symbol, like the 7-headed serpent kind of thing.
They all got nicknames.
Yeah.
Wait, did you read all these?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll just read the names of some of these people. So Russell Little was one of the founding members. His pseudonym was Osceola or Aussie. Joseph Ramiro was AKA Bo. Donald DeFreeze, he was like one of the leaders. His name was General Field Marshal Sinque Sinkyu, sorry.
Yeah.
Sinkyu Mitume. Willie Wolf was known as Cujo. Thero Wheeler, which Thero is pretty like weird.
That's already a weird name, yeah.
His name was Bayo.
Like Scott Baio. Charles in charge of our days.
Mary Alice Seam. Oh, she didn't have a name. Fuck her. Angela Atwood. General Jelena. Sorry to make fun of these people, but
they're idiots.
Patricia Soltisk. Yeah, Soltzik. AKA Ms. Moon or Zoya. Camilla Hall, also known as Gabby, or Gabby if you want, or Gabby if you're nasty. Nancy Lang Perry, Fahiza.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Emily Harris, Yolanda. William Harris, General Teco. Cool, bro. Wendy Yoshimura. She didn't have a name. I think her name was pretty cool as it was. Kathleen Solia, aka Sarah Jane Olsen. And I think that's it for like the members and like cool names.
What, like half of them have like fucking sick names like Cujo and General Jelena. Yeah. And then it's like Yolanda.
Yeah.
Sarah Jane Olsen.
They kind of ran out of steam at the end there. So yeah. So these guys just sitting in their little hideout and being like, okay, so we're gonna draw this like cool symbol. We're all gonna get nicknames, and then we're gonna like rob some fucking banks because fuck the man.
Yeah. We're going to be little modern-day Robin Hoods. We're going to rob from the rich and give to the poor.
Which, sure, great. But no.
Except their first act was to kill a fucking school superintendent in Oakland.
The first black superintendent of the district. What the fuck?
No, yeah. Like, this man is a man of the people.
It's so
he's a
sad.
school superintendent. He's not rich or anything. And, yeah, they just fucking kill him.
I don't get that. November of 1973, they killed Dr. Marcus Foster.
Yeah.
This man, I don't know much about him, but I don't think this is how you perpetuate a social justice movement, by killing a man who is doing good in the Oakland School District and the first black superintendent. I don't understand. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, these
fucking assholes.
Yeah. Oh, God. And this is where, too, this is so interesting to me because we've already said there's like 12 members. It's like there's like no people in the SLA really. But what's interesting is just this one act of violence. They obviously claimed it and like sent, notice to the newspapers and stuff. And we're like, we're responsible. And
like ISIS.
Yeah, like ISIS. And well, they were terrorists. And they're
they were terrorists.
And they're like, our motto is death to the fascist insect that preys upon the life of the people. And like just all this crazy shit. But I think because there were these big militant groups,
They had to like stand out and like do something crazy.
Yeah, and no one knew they only had 12 people. People
Right.
were like, "Oh shit, like this is a movement. It's going to pop up everywhere. They might have a whole fucking underground SLA." But like meanwhile, it was 12 college kids and one like convict.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Oh, sad. Really
Yeah.
sad. Really shitty.
And it kind of led them down the wrong, I don't know. I feel like maybe like they weren't they didn't like explore this kind of event very well. So
Yeah.
it kind of snowballed a little bit.
Yeah. They got in over their heads like immediately.
Yeah.
So then they decided, all right, we got our names out there. We need to do something with more high profile. We need to like kidnap somebody famous. So they are in the Bay Area, obviously, and then they see that Patricia Hearst, Patty Hearst, is getting engaged to her fiance, who's her former college tutor, Stephen Weed. And I think they like see this announcement and they like figure out how to get her home address. And they basically like knock on her door. Patty answers the door and they barge in and they beat the shit out of her fiance. They like beat her up and they beat her fiance up and he's like, take whatever you want. And he like runs out the back door. And like there's varying accounts of like what he actually did, but I referred mostly to Jeffrey Toobin, who wrote a book about her, and he's like talked a lot about her. He's like interviewed numerous people, like he's delved into this subject very deeply, and he's a writer for the New Yorker and a contributor on CNN. So he knows what he's talking about, so I trust him.
Yeah.
And he just has like, he's like, yeah, her fiance just like got beat up and like ran out the back door like a little bitch. But who's to say? So they grab her, throw her in the car. She's all bound and gagged, whatever. And they take her to their hideout, and lock her in the closet for a couple months. Literally, like 2 months later, she changed her name to Tanya. That was her alias, Tanya. Tania. She's like taking pictures with like in front of the big flag of the SLA with the 7-headed serpent with a machine gun, like assault rifle. I mean, it's like a super famous picture. If you Google Patty Hearst right now, you'll see this picture of her. She's like a
Patty Tanya.
What?
Patty Tanya Hearst.
Patty Tanya Hearst. So she's like all in. They like have quote unquote brainwashed her. She's like fucking some of the dudes. There's some controversy about that. Like she said she was like sexually assaulted, and I will not assume or speculate, but eventually she becomes like romantically involved with a couple of the members, like for sure. Like she's admitted that.
Well, this was another like weird, because in 2 months, like it didn't take that long, but there are during that 2 months the SLA was reaching out to her family being like, we have your daughter, we need to you guys need to make a big statement and like help people and all this stuff, and it turned into like what I think is the very first instance of like over coverage of an event by the media, right. Because all of these media outlets went onto the Hearst property, not the Hearst Castle, just the regular Hearst house. Yeah. And they didn't leave like for the 2 months. Like people, they at first they were like sleeping in their cars, all the journalists. Then they brought in motorhomes, and it was just like around the clock coverage, all waiting to hear what the family was going to respond with. But like a journalist in some like documentary I watched, which there you go, there's my bibliography or whatever.
Yeah, just like some documentary.
It's called Gorilla, not like
Gorilla,
G-O-R.
The Taking of Patty Hearst.
Yeah. But like, he was like, this is where we messed up because we were just waiting to hear from the family. No one was looking into the actual facts and story of the SLA. Like, they were just waiting. And so it gave a lot of control to the SLA. And again, they were like assuming they were this huge radicalized movement that was happening, and it was 12 people or whatever. And then, so yeah, it was like this big mistake because they were just like, I don't know, it was like a media circus type thing. And we see that happen so much now where there isn't any information coming out. It's just, oh, this is what this person's saying or whatever, and no one's looking for facts.
Well, it became like very sensationalized because she was so from such a famous family. It'd be like,
and they were a media family.
Yeah, if like Caitlyn or Kendall Jenner, or not Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, but that would be amazing. No, it would be like if Caitlyn Jenner, because she's so bland.
I know. No.
It'd be like Kendall or Kylie.
Kendall or Kylie.
But Caitlyn Jenner is bland. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it was like, Patty Hearst is just like, if you listen to these recordings, like, in the beginning.
Oh, my God, her voice. I cannot.
It's so annoying.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, she's like, hi, Mom and Dad. And she turns on them so quickly, like, in that 2 months.
Yeah, and she has that, like, rich kid drawl, like, where she's just like, Mom and Dad, like.
Yeah.
Stop wearing black, Mom.
I'm not
dead. Okay. Well, yeah. So it'd be like Kendall or Kylie Jenner getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then like just like an it girl of our time getting kidnapped and just being like within 2 months you see her in the news like wearing a fucking beret with an assault rifle and you're like, what the fuck? You know,
oh,
it's
God.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So she becomes totally radicalized within 2 months and decides to go on a bank heist with them. They, on April 15th, 1974, I believe.
Yeah.
They and a few of the members, several members, I'm not sure, several to a few, because there's not very many of them.
All 4 members of the fucking SLA.
Go to a bank, the Hibernia Bank in the San Francisco Sunset District, to rob it. She's caught on the security camera wielding a machine gun and like just yelling at people. It's great. You see her, and I think she goes like, "I'm Tanya," or something like that. Like she's yelling at these people.
Well, they got the security footage tape and they were like, oh, because like, I don't know. I guess what we've seen, especially like that Tubin guy, he's very biased, and I think it's kind of like made me a bit biased. But but I'm sure like in this 2-month period, people were really scared. They were like, oh my God, this girl's been kidnapped because she was kidnapped supposedly, and so they're like seeing this video and they're like, is she doing this because they're forcing her to do this? Like, is she now radicalized? They didn't know. So they took this fucking security tape and gave it to like a school for the deaf and they read the lips. And that is what she says. She's like, up. She's like, up, like against the wall. Up. I'm Tanya.
On the floor, motherfuckers, or something like that.
I'm Tanya.
I'm Tanya, motherfuckers.
Tanya says, on the floor, motherfuckers. Tanya says, on the floor, motherfuckers. And then they all
la 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 la.
And then they all theater kid their way out. Do 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 do.
Okay. Oh my God.
It's like the theateriest. They're all doing like high kicks.
And I love that Donald DeFreeze is just wearing this like badass fucking Erykah Badu hat.
It's like a sun hat.
It was cool back then.
My mom has that hat for when she sits by the pool. And the fucking general lieutenant or whatever of the SLA is wearing a fucking sun hat. Like 20 minutes before the robbery, he was fucking gardening.
Oh my God. I can't. God bless. Oh, okay. So they rob this fucking bank. And then they like relocate down to LA because they got to beat the heat, man.
Yeah.
It's getting real heavy up in this bitch.
Yeah.
And they go down to LA where they have another like hideout.
Yeah.
They recruited a couple new members, I think, down there. And they're hiding out down there, and a month later, after the bank robbery of the Hibernia Bank, Patty's out with Bill Harris and Emily Harris. They're like husband and wife, and
AKA Frodo and Hermione. Fucking.
Oh my god.
Whatever their fucking nicknames were.
They're at this like sporting goods store, and Bill Harris like just decides he's gonna shoplift something, and the clerk sees him and like grabs him and is like, "You fucking idiot!" And as he grabs him, his gun falls out of his waistband, and then like Emily is trying to like intervene, and he's like getting arrested basically, like he's getting detained, and Patty sees this all going down, and she's like in the car waiting for them to come out. She grabs a fucking assault rifle and just sprays the front of the sporting goods store. Like she just empties a magazine out basically.
I'm Tanya.
And she's just like fucking Rambos the shit out of this place. I mean, it's actually kind of impressive because she doesn't kill anybody. And everybody's just like, fuck, like diving for the floor. And they get away because she like sprays the fucking building with bullets like a fucking goddamn, like she's in a movie.
Yeah.
So they get away. They hide out in Anaheim. I think they like went to Disneyland or some shit.
As you do after you fucking terrorize a sporting goods store.
No, they didn't really go to Disneyland. I'm just making fun of them because they went to Anaheim and like hid out in a hotel room.
Yeah. And then I wrote, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Because they had done this, I think their getaway car got spotted or something, and they were like able to trace it back to this address in LA or something.
I heard because I was watching a documentary.
You did hear.
I did hear
the documentary.
Well, I watched that. Yeah. Well, the LAPD kind of like knew they were there, but it was lucky. It was lucky, and also it's assumed that people knew Patty wasn't there because they had eyes on the house now, so like they knew they left and they knew they weren't at the house. But they raided it. And that's where Sin Q was, the general, DeFreeze. And they...
Like a few other people, right?
A few
like
other people.
6 other people?
Yeah,
like
like...
5 other people?
AKA the majority of the people. Everybody but 3 of the people.
Half of the group was there.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, like you're surrounded, come out now. And they didn't respond. And then like a shootout ensued, and then they like lit the house on fire.
Dude, no. Okay, first of all, this shootout was one of the craziest things that's ever happened.
And it's recorded.
LA County.
It's on. Yeah.
You can watch it.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I don't know how many thousands of rounds of bullets were exchanged, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it was it was like a fucking war zone. And I don't think that this is all on camera, and like they fired a bunch of tear gas or something in there, or like flashbangs, and the house caught on fire.
Yeah.
And all the people in the house died. So did these people deserve to die? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
It was just, but they were like shooting at the police, so
yeah,
I don't know.
They deserve to be in prison because they killed that guy, the superintendent.
Absolutely.
And they fucking kidnapped a lady, but
also like to add drama to their murders and stuff, or like their shooting, they had their bullets were laced with cyanide.
Oh yeah.
Like, calm down.
Now it's like 3 people, and they're like, fuck, we don't know what to do now.
Well, and also like Patty and the Harrises were watching this on TV because it was being televised, like this whole raid on the house.
Yeah, and they're just televised. Like, oh no, what do we do?
And they're watching their friends,
yeah,
friends dying, which is, that's sad.
Yeah.
So they go back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And there's like the remainder of the group is up there. They do another bank robbery, the Crocker Bank.
Yeah.
And I don't think Patty was there, but I don't know. Maybe she was.
I think
she was the getaway driver.
Yeah, she was the getaway driver in this one. So it was, when they went up to SF, they I think it was new members that were up there. So
yeah, they had recruited a couple other people.
Yeah, and they were like hiding out with them. And also during that time, like people were really supporting the SLA in the Bay Area, like normal citizens and like probably other white kids at Berkeley. And so people were there to like provide a safe house for Patty. And I mean, these were 3 fugitives that were like very well known, and somehow they just like got into San Francisco and like were hidden. So they had a lot of allies. But yeah, so the Crocker Bank robbery, Patty's the getaway driver. They accidentally kill a woman who's in the bank making a deposit like for her church or something.
Just minding her own business. Yeah. Mother of 4. It's really fucking sad.
So sad. And I think it was accidental. Like it wasn't like no one wanted to kill her, but still they did, and they were criminals.
And they like kind of didn't care about it. They were just like, oh, whatever, just another fascist pig.
Yeah,
they're just so divorced from reality at this point because they're running around with guns and have nothing to lose except I don't know.
Yeah, so they all leave the scene. Actually, the people that were present that day, I believe, weren't caught. They turned themselves in like 2005.
There's still a dude out on the loose, I think.
Yeah, they went to trial for killing that woman like maybe 10 or 12 years ago. So, but Patty is arrested after that incident.
That happened. When did that happen?
It happened in 1975, I believe.
Yeah. So, mind you, Patty has been with them now for like a little over a year at this point. When this robbery happens and they kill this woman, and then she is arrested in September of 1975. So the like final like awful robbery where they killed that woman happened, I think, in like March of 1975. I think April, maybe early 75. She's arrested September, goes to trial. One of her defense lawyers is F. Lee Bailey. If you are familiar at all with the O.J. Simpson trial, you will know that this was one of his defense lawyers. So F. Lee Bailey, man, what a fucking dude. He was crazy. He fucking defended Sam Shepard, I think the guy that killed his wife in like the 50s. He was like a neurosurgeon or something.
Yeah.
He also defended the Boston Strangler, and then he went on to defend a bunch of like crime bosses in Boston. This guy's a piece of shit.
Oh God.
He was eventually disbarred.
He's still alive, right?
I don't know.
Oh. He might be old now, really old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like right at the beginning of the trial, this is where I'm kind of like, oh, she's such an idiot. Because you think that if you were caught, I don't know, I'd be like, oh, no, I didn't do any of that. I don't know. Like she
didn't.
I was
coerced. Yeah.
She didn't initially. She was like, when she was booked, she put her occupation as like a radicalist or something.
When she was arrested, she was like, I'm a urban guerrilla.
Oh yeah, that's like, what she put as her occupation. It was urban guerrilla.
Bitch, shut up.
Like you're a student and a rich kid.
For the record too, she was putting out. They were like making recordings of her saying like all this stuff. Like she didn't have a gun to her head. She was talking shit to her parents and like the bourgeoisie and like which she was a part of. And
later becomes a part of again.
Yeah, because she doesn't have to fucking hardly face any consequences because she is a person of means and goes to trial, gets convicted for 7 years, only spends a little under 2 in prison because her sentence is commuted by Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. And she like the trial was going pretty well until they decided to put her on the stand, and like at the same time the prosecution like dug up all these crimes she was a part of after they kind of fleed. Like, so she technically was free because all those people died in the house raid of the SLA.
She could have left at any point in time.
Yeah.
Like, she was left alone multiple times.
Well, and especially after that. But she just kept robbing places and, like, doing bad stuff. And so they were like, oh, shit. But they had already decided to put her on the stand. So when she got on the stand, she pled the fifth on, like, every question they asked her about it, which is fucking ridiculous.
She pled the fifth, like, I don't know, like 40 plus times or something like that. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just, I don't know. It's just, she looked bad. She looked real bad. She is a shithead. I have no sympathy for her because, like I said, she didn't go to jail for the time that she was she was sentenced for. The jury found her guilty.
Yeah.
Sentenced to 7 years. Like I said, she spent less than 2 years in prison. Her commuted by Jimmy Carter. She was fully pardoned by Bill Clinton in the 90s. She is the first person in American history to be commuted and pardoned by 2 different sitting presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so she's out of prison. She marries her bodyguard, Bernard Shaw. They're still married, by the way.
Oh, he's dead.
R.I.P. Whoops.
So
I didn't read that.
They are married, I guess.
Oh,
but
no, I did read that.
Yeah.
Well, they were married until the day he died.
Yeah. Good.
She went on to be a fucking socialite and just like was like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna go like do my life and bye. Like, you guys are still in jail. That sucks. Like, all the people that got arrested like afterwards, they like ended up in jail for I don't know how long, a while. She was in a couple of John Waters movies. Like,
yeah. She was like, I'm an actress now, which is like, bitch, you've always been an actress. And not a very good one.
That's right. I love John Waters. That, like, when I found that out, I was just like, no, fuck.
He's the guy with the skinny mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did,
I like him.
Crybaby with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's awesome.
She was in that movie.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to watch it again, knowing that.
She was in a lot of movies.
Yeah, she just like played bit parts and stuff.
Yeah.
She like was in a fashion show. Like, it's just like that thing of like where famous or like rich people can just like literally do whatever the fuck they want after they have no consequences.
No.
She went on to live a normal, exceptional life, I should say, because who gets this kind of life after they spend time in jail for being a domestic terrorist? No one.
Oh, someone worth 45 mil.
She's worth $45 million. She inherited that money. She wrote a book, like probably got tons of money from that. Natasha Richardson played her in a movie that was based on that book that she wrote. R.I.P. Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm like skeptical that she was even kidnapped in the first place.
I am too. I kind of have a feeling that she was involved with like Willie, maybe. He was in the anthropology
in that Black Cultural Association or whatever.
He was on campus, and she was like a sophomore in college, and he was there, and she probably knew him. I mean, it's not like it's a big school, but
yeah.
But I don't know. You kind of know all the people.
But I think he was part of that program, like the anthropology program. But yeah, it's
as an anthropology major, I'm offended that these assholes.
What a bad idea during that time to like do that sort of class. It's like people in prisons are radicalizing, people at schools are radicalizing. Let's put them together. It's like,
I mean, I appreciate like the fact that these people's had sympathy and empathy and kind of got like the problems that were going on, but they were just so they had just romantic idea of what a revolution looks like because they watched like movies that were about actual hardship and thought that they could just like plug themselves into this kind of mindset, and then but they had no consequence. They didn't.
Yeah.
They could wake up the next day and just be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and just like go back to their normal lives. Like a person of color does not get that chance.
Yeah.
Like they have to wake up and deal with the bullshit that is put on them by society every day. Like these fucking privileged white kids just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Anyway, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
My like final thoughts were of Patty Hearst being a fucking bitch to her mom in the recordings.
Yeah.
Just being like, Mom, get out of that black dress.
Yeah.
I'm not dead. Like,
Tell Mom to stop wearing black.
like
This
you
isn't a
listen to these
funeral.
recordings of her, and it's funny how her voice changes over time too in the recordings, where she's just like kind of a bored college student, just
Yeah.
monotone. Mom, Dad, I'm fine. I'm with this group of radicalized people, and it's fine. They're treating me really well. And then it's like, I will not accept the fucking blah 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 oppression of the fascists, and like she just gets like super animated. Like,
Tanya has spoken.
yeah. And then this fucking quote. I was reading this Rolling Stone article. So her and the Harrises, when they're like on the run or whatever, they, right? Is that who?
Yeah.
She was on the run with.
Yeah.
She's like on the run with them for like a year after that, the shootout and all that, and she's like in a fight with Bill Harris or William Harris, whatever, and he's like, this is a quote: "You rich little bitch," Harris yelled during another fight. "What do you know about the struggle of the people? You grew up in a fucking mansion." And she goes, "Kiss my cunt, Adolf." I cannot. Oh, that's like,
That's what the musical of Patty Hearst should be called. Kind of like Kiss Me, Kate.
yeah,
But-
kiss my cunt, Adolf.
The story of Patty Hearst.
Yeah.
Tanya.
That kind of redeemed her a little bit in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, just, but yeah, that article is from the Rolling Stone that's quoted from. It's called "The Lost Year of the SLA."
Which is the lost year, one of two of the SLA.
Yeah.
What a joke. It's all just so ridiculous.
You know, it's sad that like people died, you know, in the shootout.
Yeah.
Like they like literally burned alive in the house, and it was really fucked up.
We didn't even talk about the nightmare that was like the $2 million that was donated.
Oh yeah.
And I just remembered this because I'm thinking like, oh, people died. Also, people were like assaulted, and there were fights that broke out because Patty's dad donated $2 million worth of food to the Bay Area, and all of these people, like, you know, it was mostly
It
like
caused like a riot.
yeah, it caused riots. There was mostly like Black and Hispanic like families that came out that were like trying to feed their children and stuff. You know, people were just like desperate for food, and so this was like the good that the SLA was trying to do. But what ended up happening was like it was just fucking like a logistical nightmare. It was unorganized, and it just turned into riots of like people trying to grab stuff, and the police were like beating people up and all this stuff. It's like, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was a mess.
One of the stipulations for when Patty was first kidnapped, one of the like demands from the SLA was that the Hearsts in lieu of a ransom,
Yeah.
that they donate $2 million worth of food to the homeless and, you know, underserved people in the Bay Area, and it was not executed well. And then like she did another recording where she was like, you guys like totally did not do it right. I'm like staying with the SLA. You guys are the worst.
Oh yeah,
Mom, check out that black dress.
yeah, that was like the turning point where she's like, oh, you guys are useless. The SLA is my new family.
Yeah,
and
you guys
hate
are a
you.
bunch of fascist pigs. Ugh, God.
You guys know nothing about me, Tanya.
And the movement, and like, fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
My name's Tanya now. Bye. Fuck you, Patty Hearst. You suck.
Oh,
She's
God.
gonna sue me.
She's just so awful now. And she doesn't do... I, like, heard from that Tubin guy because he did an episode of Fresh Air.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to that?
I did not
Oh,
know.
okay. Well, you like read all about it anyway. But it was like an interview that he did, and he was talking about how she doesn't do, like, she won't do interviews that are, like, even neutral. I think she does, like, interviews. She's done interviews overseas and stuff, but she won't talk to anybody about her experience, probably because she, like, got away with it, and it's done, and she, like, doesn't.
Well, she did that famous interview with Larry King. I watched, like, most of it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And it's, like, from, like, 2001 or 2 or something. It's, like, right after 9/11, kind of. And she's not she's not a sympathetic person, because she's just like, I did my time, and, you know, Larry, I just want to put it behind me, and the people that were involved were just so radical, and I was not that. And it's like, fuck, you, like, I think she was a teenager and making bad decisions at the time. Like, when you're 19 years old, your brain isn't fully formed.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. But, like, at the same time, she didn't have to face any consequences.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I mean, she went to prison for less than 2 years, and she aided and abetted a domestic terrorist group.
Yeah.
If she was any other person, she would, I can't, I don't know.
Yeah. She's a fucking
It's
idiot.
crazy. Fucking idiot. Kiss my cunt.
Adolf.
Adolf. Kiss my cunt, Patty.
Yeah. Patty, who's the Adolf? You are.
You are.
Okay. Cool.
Good episode.
Yeah, that was fun. I really liked this one. I
this is a
thought
good
we
one.
would talk more about, like, Stockholm Syndrome, but
She didn't have it.
no, she didn't have it. So there's really no point. And also, that Tubin guy was like, I don't use that term because it's more of a journalistic term, and it's not a medical term. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Stockholm Syndrome isn't really a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
It is, but...
It is. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Stockholm Syndrome is certainly employed. Like, if you are in a bad situation and you're going to do whatever you got to do to survive, like, you're going to make some hard decisions, and you're going to try to, like, gain the sympathy of your captor or whatever. But
that is not what happened here.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. I mean, we're passing judgment, and that's fine. But, like, I don't, like, she had every opportunity to leave after all the shit went down. There is not a lot of people holding her. Like, she had a fucking assault rifle that she lit up the front of a fucking sporting goods store with.
Yeah.
And she could have just drove off by herself. Like, she saw the Harrises getting arrested, basically, and she could have just driven off and, like, gone home then.
Yeah.
Or hid out if she wanted to and got her wits about her, or, like, chilled out. But she, like, made the decision. She made decision after decision after decision with ample time to critically think about what was going on and opt out.
There
She
were almost, like, infinite opportunities where she could have been like, I'm Tanya.
I'm Tanya.
Or she could have been like, I'm Patty Hearst. Like, I need help. I'm being held. You know, like, there's so many. She could have done that so many times. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't believe her. She's a butthole.
Yeah.
We never.
'Cause she knew at the end of the day, she'd go home and she'd be like, oh, cool, it's fine. I'm going to get the best defense attorney and it's going to be fine.
Yeah. So dumb.
That's what happened. And 2 fucking presidents were like, oh, Patty, just go on and live your best life.
Oh,
it's fine.
Patty, you little rich white girl.
And to be fair, like, to be clear, not to be fair, I'm a very liberal person. And this is not how you do it.
They were doing it wrong.
They were doing it wrong.
I never asked you last week, or like last episode, but would you eat people to survive?
Yeah.
You would?
Totally. Yeah.
I think I would. I've never been that hungry, so I don't know, but I probably would too.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if it meant. I don't know. I guess it would depend on who it is.
If you were like, okay, if it was like a group of people and a person was like, if I was like, I would let people eat me. I would,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like,
Well, you're dead.
I'd be
Who cares?
Yeah, I'd be like, please eat my body
Yeah.
to keep yourself alive. I love you so much.
Yeah.
If somebody said that to me, I don't know, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't, but like, I don't know.
Would you want someone close to you to eat you though? Like your parents or something? I would want a stranger to eat me. Like I wouldn't eat anyone I
Sure.
was close to. I don't think.
Well, it's about, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would be fucked up, but like, I'd be like, consume me, let me live within you.
Take of me my heart and let it become your heart.
I would be like, I would tell him like which parts to eat and which not. Like, don't eat my butt.
Don't eat my labia. Oh no, I would say eat my butt cheeks. Those are probably good. Or no, they're probably really
meaty.
They're probably really fatty. Eat my calves.
Eat of my pork belly.
Eat of me my belly, but leave my boobs and nipples intact.
They're probably gristly anyway.
Mine are lumpy.
Yeah, everybody's are.
Oh, okay.
I have so many. Weird. Don't worry, I've gotten all the tests.
Oh, good, yeah. So follow us on social media.
DTFU podcast at gmail.com if you have anything to say.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's
cool.
All right.
We did it. Great job. Good
all
one.
right. Thanks everyone.
Thanks guys.
Bye.